you say that for practical purposes, we leveled every major city in North Korea so that they all looked like Berlin at the close of World War II. Mm-hmm. Well, why am I alone in never having known this?
No, it's probably one of the worst episodes of unrestrained American violence against another people, but it's certainly the one that the fewest Americans know about. But when you go to North Korea, it was the first thing my guides brought up with me. For this book, did some research on how incendiary bombing developed during World War II. First the Germans did it, and then everybody did it, but especially the British and Americans. And they found out, after a lot of trial and error, that it was a lot easier to burn down a city than it was to use conventional bombs on a factory. The collateral damage wasn't very great. You might bust up a city block, but people are having coffee one block over. And they thought, with incendiary weapons, you can burn a city down in 15 minutes, and they started doing it.
Yeah, you could. Cologne, Dresden, Tokyo?
Absolutely. Würzburg, I think, was one of the first cities, 17 minutes it took to destroy that. When you look at the firebombing of Tokyo and of Dresden and Hamburg, they have these statistics. How much of the city was destroyed? And it's usually on the range of 35, 40, 45%, sometimes over 50%. But the very same people do the same incendiary bombing over North Korea, where North Korea was not like North Vietnam. It had industrial cities, about 14 of them, plus the capital at Pyongyang. So it was already significantly urbanized. And the same people do the same surveys, and I have the chart in a table in my book. Xinhuiju on the Chinese border, 95% destroyed. Pyongyang, 85%. Hamhung, an industrial city, 80%. They actually destroyed North Korean cities to a greater degree than the bombing of Japanese and German cities. And yet there's just a terribly disproportionate aspect of this, because the Germans were capable of mounting a defense, and they had V-2 rockets clanging into London and so on. And you took your life in your hands when you went on a bombing run over Germany. The Japanese didn't have much good anti-aircraft, but they had a very formidable army. And here you have North Korea, which was essentially a developing country with some industrial cities. And we level it more than we did Japan or Germany, and they're defenseless. So they're underground. They have schools, factories, hospitals underground. The North Koreans at the recent party meeting said something about 1997-98 being a year of terrible sacrifice. That was a reference to the famine. But they likened it to 1951, which was really when, by the end of 1951, there weren't many bombing targets left in North Korea. So that was the worst year of that, and it was extremely hard for them, but the strategic bombing survey after World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War all demonstrate that you can't win wars by bombing cities. It doesn't even hurt people's morale the way you think it's going to.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.